My name is Franklin Harris, and I'm 84 years old. People often ask me, Frank, if things get harder, would you ever consider moving into a nursing home? And my answer is simple. Absolutely not. Why? Because while nursing homes may offer safety, for many of us, they also mean giving up freedom, choice, and dignity. Think about it. The ability to decide when you wake up, what you eat, or even how you spend your quiet evenings. These are small freedoms we take for granted until they're gone. In today's video, I want to share 5 powerful reasons why I refuse to step into a nursing home. These reasons come from my own reflections, but I know they echo what countless older adults feel deep inside. And here's my promise. Reason number 5 is rarely talked about, yet it just might change the way you see aging and independence forever. So, let's begin this journey together. Let's begin with the first reason. Loss of personal privacy. At home, you and I get to decide when we want peace and quiet and when we want company. We can shut our bedroom door, take a nap, or read in silence without anyone interrupting. That choice is part of what makes life feel truly ours. But in a nursing home, that freedom often disappears. Staff members may come in at any hour to check on you, sometimes without knocking. You might have to share a room with someone whose habits are completely different from yours. Even the smallest things, like leaving a book by your nightstand or enjoying a private phone call, can suddenly feel like a privilege instead of a right. And over time, this constant lack of privacy can feel less like care and more like surveillance. It's almost as if you're no longer an adult, but a child being monitored. And with that comes something devastating, a slow erosion of self-confidence and dignity. Take Helen, for example. She's 85 and spent most of her life living independently in her own home. When she moved into a nursing facility after a fall, she thought she'd still have her own little world. But what she found was very different. Nurses came into her room at all hours. She had no say over her schedule, and she felt her personal space was never truly her own. Within months, her once bright spirit faded, and she confessed to her daughter that she felt invisible. That's the painful reality many seniors never anticipate. Privacy is more than just being left alone. It's about respect, autonomy, and the dignity of living life on your own terms. Without it, even the safest place can feel like a cage. Let's move to the second reason. The comfort of home and the memories it carries. A house isn't just walls, windows, and a roof. For many of us, it's the living archive of our entire lives. Every corner holds a story. The creak in the floor by the hallway, the pictures hanging in the living room, even the old armchair by the window. These are not just objects. They are pieces of identity, pieces of history. Think about Susan, who's 82. For her, the kitchen isn't just a place to cook. It's where she baked birthday cakes for her children, where the smell of cinnamon rolls filled the house during Christmas, where laughter and conversations made even ordinary meals feel like celebrations. The dining table where her family gathered every Sunday is more than furniture. It's a sacred space of togetherness. Now compare that to a nursing home. Yes, it may be safe. Yes, it may be clean, but it will never carry those layers of memory. The walls are blank, the routines impersonal, and no matter how kind the staff may be, they cannot replace the sense of belonging that only a familiar home provides. And here's the truth many don't talk about. At an older age, change is not always refreshing. It can be disorienting, even stressful. Moving away from familiar surroundings often feels like leaving behind a part of yourself. That loss of environment, of comfort, of memory, of personal history can quietly chip away at emotional well-being. Home is not just a physical space. It is a sanctuary, a reminder of who we are and the life we've built. And when that is taken away, no matter how safe or modern the new place may be, something deep inside feels unsettled. That's why, for many seniors, the comfort of home is priceless and irreplaceable.
Let's move to the third reason: the deep distrust many seniors feel toward institutional care. On paper, nursing homes promise efficiency, structure, and professional attention, but in reality, that efficiency often comes at the cost of individuality. You stop being a person with unique habits and preferences, and instead you risk becoming just another number in a system. Think about the small routines that shape your sense of self. When you drink your morning coffee, what time you like to bathe, or how you enjoy reading the paper before breakfast. In many facilities, these rituals are replaced by strict schedules. Meals are served at fixed times, activities are organized for groups rather than individuals, and staff members, no matter how kind, simply don't have the time to honor everyone's personal choices. Take Edward, 85 years old, for example. Before entering a nursing home, he had a morning ritual he cherished: scrambled eggs, toast with jam, and reading the newspaper on his porch. But once inside the system, that routine disappeared. Breakfast was served at 7:30 sharp, choices were limited, and his mornings felt rushed. Edward described it not as being cared for, but as being managed. That loss of autonomy weighed on his spirit every single day. And here's the greater concern: when people stop listening to you, when your voice doesn't matter, it chips away at dignity. It's not just about missing a favorite meal or losing flexibility in your day. It's about feeling unseen. That quiet neglect, even if unintentional, can leave lasting emotional scars. That's why so many seniors would rather lean on family, neighbors, and community support than surrender their independence to an institution. They value a hand that understands, an ear that listens, and a heart that recognizes them as individuals, not as cases to be processed. Because in the end, care without respect isn't really care at all. This distrust of institutional systems isn't just stubbornness. It comes from lived experiences, from watching friends lose themselves in environments that prize order over humanity. For many of us, choosing to stay out of a nursing home is choosing to preserve our identity, our dignity, and our right to be heard. Let's move to the fourth reason: the irreplaceable value of family and community support.
At this stage of life, true comfort doesn't come from perfectly scheduled routines or spotless hallways. It comes from the warmth of family, the laughter of grandchildren, and the neighbor who knocks on your door just to check in. These are the connections that no institution, no matter how well run, can ever fully replicate. Take Dorothy, for example. She's 84, and while her health isn't what it used to be, she has built a beautiful support network. Her daughter visits every morning to help with groceries, and the neighbors stop by in the evenings to share a cup of tea. In return, Dorothy cooks her family's favorite dishes, tells stories that keep family history alive, and offers wisdom that only decades of living can provide. She doesn't feel like a burden. She feels valued, because she is still giving, not just receiving. This is the difference that family and community make. In a nursing home, the focus often shifts to what you need. At home, within your circle of loved ones, the focus is on who you are. You are a grandmother, a mentor, a friend, a neighbor. These roles affirm your dignity, your importance, and your ongoing place in the lives of others.
One of the most powerful reasons many older adults refuse to enter a nursing home comes down to something very personal. This is the fifth reason: their commitment to self-care and maintaining an independent lifestyle. At first glance, it may sound simple. Eat well, stay active, keep your mind sharp. But for those of us in our later years, these daily choices aren't just habits. They are declarations of independence. Take George, 82 years old, as an example. Every morning, without fail, he laces up his shoes and goes for a walk around the neighborhood. Afterwards, he returns home and cooks his own breakfast: eggs, whole grain toast, maybe some fresh fruit. To an outsider, it might look like an ordinary routine, but for George, it's far more than that. These acts are his shield against dependence, his way of saying, I still have control over my life. And the truth is, these small, intentional habits add up. Balanced nutrition protects the body from disease. Regular exercise strengthens bones and muscles. Mental activities, whether it's reading the newspaper, doing a crossword, or even sharing stories with friends, keep the mind engaged and resilient. Each choice is like a brick, building a foundation of independence that no institution can replicate. You see, when you rely on yourself, you're not just maintaining your health, you're protecting your dignity, your identity, and your sense of purpose. Nursing homes, despite their structure and safety, often struggle to provide that same sense of freedom. Meals are scheduled, activities are assigned, and routines are set for the group rather than the individual. For many seniors, that shift feels like losing the very essence of who they are. That's why so many of us choose to embrace self-care as more than a health strategy. It's a lifestyle, a statement of strength. Because at the end of the day, living independently isn't just about where you are. It's about how you honor yourself, your body, and the life you've built. And for many, that commitment is reason enough to stay out of a nursing home.
As we come to the end, let's reflect on the 5 powerful reasons why so many older adults refuse to enter a nursing home. First, the loss of privacy, the feeling that your life is no longer truly your own. Second, the comfort and priceless memories that only a home can hold. Third, the reality that trust in institutional care often doesn't compare to the safety of your own choices. Fourth, the irreplaceable value of family and community, a network of love no facility can ever duplicate. And fifth, the commitment to self-care and an independent lifestyle, which serves as a shield for dignity and identity. These choices aren't driven by fear. They're driven by strength, by identity, by purpose. Staying out of a nursing home is, for many, a declaration. I still matter. I still have control. My life still has meaning. And that's not just inspiring, it's empowering. Now, I want to turn it over to you. Which of these 5 reasons resonates most with you? Or with someone you love? Is it the memories of home, the bond of family, or the freedom of independence? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your story might inspire someone else watching today.
Remember, aging is not about giving up. It's about choosing how to live with strength and purpose. If this message touched you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others who might need encouragement. Because the best years of life aren't behind us. They're the ones we choose to create moving forward.